Why does that say Gabby Schrantz?
The fuck?
Why did that just say Gabby Schrantz?
What the fuck?
Gabby?
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right time, right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell the nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shout Around? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne.
That's our house.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Why does that say Gabby Schrantz?
The fuck?
Why did that just say Gabby Schrantz?
What the fuck?
Gabby? What the fuck? Gabby, what the fuck? Gabby, what the fuck? Holy sh**.
Oh, shit. So this video is absolutely hilarious because it pretty much breaks down the fraud that is female solidarity, girl power, women sticking together, and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, if you are a woman, you got a boyfriend, and he's doing somewhat good for himself, and you have a best friend, and she's single, you best believe that she is plotting on your man. That's why the best friends give the bad advice, the bad dating advice. That's why the best friends say, oh, you should leave him, or oh, you should do this with him or that with him, or you shouldn't let him talk to you or treat you that way. That's why they give that advice, because they're actually jealous of your success in your relationship while they are single. As you guys can read the caption here, it says, POV, you found out your best friend and roommate had been sleeping with your boyfriend for months behind your back after discovering their tape on his phone while the two of you were going through it together. So you can see that she was very nervous when Shawty started going through the phone. And this is something that is not that uncommon if you really think about it, okay? Girls stab each other in the back all the time. Girls fall out. Their friendships fall out all the time. And, you know, they love to say, oh, we ain't falling out over men, we ain't falling out over dick. But that's what they inevitably end up doing. So this is a perfect example of that scenario. And it's actually hilarious the way that she looked at her when she found out. And, you know, I'm very curious as to how this ended. Did they get to fighting? When did the boyfriend come back and get his phone? All these things are pressing questions that I'd love to know.
So a couple people have asked for a story time, but before I do that, I just want to say that everything I'm about to say in this video is super hypothetical based on a hypothetical story. Okay? So let's go ahead and call my ex-boyfriend Byron and my roommate and best friend Labby. So basically, I had gotten a hold of Byron's phone and I was like, listen, Labby, come outside. Like, let's go through his phone together, because this is not the first time that we had gone through his phone together. So we had propped up the phone, which is why I was recording when I had found out, because I was like, I know he's done stuff with other women. He cheated on me about 40 times. Hold on, let me say I take full accountability for not leaving the first time, not even the 39th.
So as you guys can see, as she's explaining the story, this is what we talk about when you have select men who are alpha dogs. You know, the woman she's going to ride with him. All right, she's going to ride with him. If she sees something in him, if she feels like he is a catch, he is the prize. This is why men actually are the prize, because when a woman gets with a man who they see that, you know, is greater than them or above them, they will stick it out through infidelity. Not saying that it's right, but you see time and time again example of that.
I knew that he was doing stuff as well as had multiple relations with other women. So I knew when I was going through it that I was going to find stuff. So the video is about 1 minute and 36 seconds before I found the video of them together. Before that, you know, we thought it was funny, again, to see what was going on. To make this all make sense, I need to go back a little bit, so stay with me. Him and I had just graduated college. We had been in a 2-year relationship, and he basically was like, hey, like, let's figure this out. So I had moved to Columbus from Cleveland for him, right? Me and Labby had worked at the same establishment, and I was like, hey.
And the girl's name is Gabby. She's calling her Labby, so I guess she doesn't face a lawsuit.
I'm about to move to Columbus for this boy. Obviously, she knew about him. And she was like, hey, I don't really, you know, have many friends out here. Like, why don't I move to Columbus with you? Make the rent cheaper. Let's all get a big 2-bedroom apartment. So that's basically exactly what we did. The tape that they had taken was in September of 2024. We didn't move in until November of 2024. So they had already bumped and grind. Nobody was going to bring it to my knowledge. She swears up and down to this day, not to myself, because she has not once apologized. He has not once apologized. Nobody's ever spoken to me, basically, for pretty much the most part, from that day that I found that video of them. So she let me move in with the man that she had already bumped and grind. So who knows, how long that they were bumping and grinding.
Again, I mean, this is pre-selection, okay? The man was pre-selected by her. Her friend Gabby saw that. She says, my friend has good taste. Let me try it. That's pre-selection right then and there.
Anytime I went to work, anytime I was out of town, anytime I was visiting family, or just going to the grocery store. Long story short, they had taken that video in September of 2024. He didn't have the video. She sent it to him July 1st, I think it was, maybe around there. She sent it to him on Snapchat, which is why I say, why does this say blah, blah, blah? He had taken a video off someone else's phone of the Snapchat she had sent them of the tape they had made. He saved it to his camera roll, which is why I hadn't seen it for basically 6 months since it had happened. A lot of people were like, oh, I would have beat her up, blah, blah, blah. When the video ended, I was in complete, utter shock. So I basically was like, yo, get out the car. Her mom was staying us at the time visiting from Cleveland, and I woke her up and I was like, hey, Bookie, I just found videos of your daughter having with my boyfriend in his phone. Right after that, she had basically, I didn't come home that night because, like, obviously I couldn't sleep at the home we all shared. So I basically went and stayed somewhere else. I came home 24 hours after that, and
now, where was this somewhere else? Was that her side piece that she stayed with? I mean, we definitely have to think about it.
She had moved everything out. Like, I came in and it looked like a whole new, like somebody was moving in. After that, we had pretty much all cut communication. I didn't want to speak to her. She clearly didn't want to speak to me. Instead, she went and told all my business to all my personal friends and people that I held near and dear to my heart. And things that you would tell your friend that you wouldn't tell others, she went on to tell. Lied about that for a while until I found a tape of her, or they recorded her talking about it. And she basically was like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. And that's how it ended. Like, I never got an apology. I never got, I'm sorry. They swear that was the one and only time that they did it in September when we were all living together. I just don't believe that, because if you're comfortable enough to make a video, you guys were comfortable enough to do that multiple times. After that, pretty much had settled down, other than people would send me videos. He was going into her job, visiting her. So I kind of knew that they hadn't cut communication, started following each other on Instagram. And I was like, yo, this is kind of weird. Baby, you were supposed to be my best friend. You were supposed to be my boyfriend. Why are you guys following each other on Instagram? Why are you going to her job? And kind of press the issue. Basically, then I started to get blackmailed, and things had kind of spiraled. From
blackmailed with what? She didn't end up expounding upon that. Maybe she will.
There, other than the blackmail, which I can't get into.
Okay, she can't get into it. They must got something deep on her.
Even though this is a hypothetical story, I just don't want to get into it because I don't feel comfortable enough. Labby had been there for multiple abuse situations that had happened to me. Obviously, all the cheating that happened to me, she would sit there and listen to me cry and vent about how I truly loved this man, but he would never be loyal to me, which is, again, where I take fault. But then decided and never told me that she had slept with him. So, basically, I hadn't heard anything for months until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was at our pool and I saw Labby on my Ring camera, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go like talk to her because, you know, she keeps telling people my business and I just feel like that's not fair. I've handled this entire situation with grace. I kind of just moved on with my life, and I just feel like it's not fair that she's telling people my business. So I wanted to go say like, hey, I don't appreciate this. Well, to my knowledge, when I had pulled up, I had seen her car and I heard it start. Byron was actually in the driver's seat and she was coming out. I was like, Byron's not supposed to be here because, oh my God, I completely left out. The day after I had found out that tape, I was out drinking with my friends, rightfully so, and I saw on my Ring tape that Byron was at my home, which I was like, why would Byron be at my home? Well, he had flipped this entire bedroom upside down. This bed frame that you see was damn near hanging from the ceiling. All my clothes were scattered everywhere. He had taken clothes of mine and things like that. So basically, I had called the cops that night. After dealing with, again, abuse and things like that, I never called the cops, but I had finally met my final straw. Because I'm like, why are you guys trying to play the victim? And why is he trying to break into my apartment when I actually did nothing wrong? Basically, after that, I hadn't spoken to either of them. Obviously, things had moved on. I saw her at my apartment and he wasn't supposed to be here. So the day that I saw her at my apartment and I saw him driving, I'm like, hey, he's not supposed to be here. Like, the police had already told him he's not supposed to be here. Well, I had stood in front of the car because I was like, no, you guys are not leaving together. Like, he's not supposed to be here. I'm calling the police. He had ended up ramming the car into like my feet and running over my foot.
Damn.
Come to find out that they are actually currently living together.
Makes sense.
And I don't know what they came to get because he or she doesn't have anything here. I guess they took some dog food. They took the paper towels that I bought. And to be honest, after that, I don't know what they took. But that just frustrated me really bad because I was like, I haven't done anything to you guys. I'm trying to move on with my life. And you guys are continuing to show up at my apartment together. Where again, then I had found out that she was staying with him. Basically, from this point on, I'm dealing with things behind the scenes. Again, she's staying with him. The last time I spoke to him, he said that she was furnishing his entire apartment. She doesn't have money. Also doesn't currently have a job. He currently doesn't have a job because he got fired from his. I know that before she was $10,000 in credit card debt, so I'd love to see where it's at now.
Damn.
As well as furnishing his entire apartment. But honestly, it's just been a mess. And this entire time, I feel like I have moved with such grace. I have definitely strengthened my relationship with the Lord. And at this point, it just seems like they're doing things to get a reaction out of me. And they're not going to get the reaction that they want out of me because at the end of the day, if you can do that to your best friend and your girlfriend, that's just demonic behavior to me. And I would rather choose to live in peace. So basically, since the day that I have found out, they have tried to, well, he did trash my apartment, try to get a reaction out of me, currently living with him, supposedly dating because his name in her phone is my ball with the heart. And honestly, at the end of the day, I wish them the best because those are two demonic human beings. He abused me for 2 years, broke my phone. The phone I'm on is a brand new phone because he smashed the other one in the street. I have holes in my wall. So, you know, it's just silly to me that you would want to be with my abuser knowing that I cried to you about the abuse that I was going through and the things that I was dealing with. But at the end of the day, I just feel like that should have never happened. But again, two demonic people deserve to be with each other.
And that's how you realize how strong pre-selection is for women. Even though the friend has seen the dark side of this man, heard firsthand accounts from this man, she believes either she can change him or he ain't gonna do that with me. He's not gonna do that to me. And I mean, that just shows that because this man was able to bag her, and the friend probably had jealousy of her, for whatever reason, she wanted what this young lady had. And that's the power of pre-selection in dating market, in the sexual marketplace, that a lot of women overlook and say isn't true. Like, why would I want a man who is abusive? Why would I want a man who, is ran through? Why would I want a man who can't, have sexual discipline? But the reason why you would want that man is because he's pre-selected by other women. So it gives you a signal that this guy knows what he's doing, whether it be with women in the bedroom, or the way that he treats them, or the way that he makes them feel, which is the utmost important to modern women in this day and age in 2025.
And at the end of the day, the Lord is always going to prevail. And yeah, so that's the story time. Again, all of this is hypothetical, based on a hypothetical story. Okay? Okay. We're going to keep it cute and we're going to keep it classy because I was just sent something, obviously, as everyone knows what's going on. First of all, I want to say am I nobody's influencer, but I do not condone any type of bullying, any type of hate, or telling someone to unalive themselves, because every single person in my close circle right now knows exactly the demons that I have been fighting and the work I have been doing to even be here right now. However, I do want to say that if we're going to sit here on the internet and call things a mistake, we're going to keep it 100. What happened to me is not a mistake. A mistake is something you do and you don't do it again, or you apologize for it again and then don't do it again and work on it. We don't have to be friends, we don't have to like each other anymore, and we don't have to be family, but let's not sit here and call it a mistake.
Wow. I mean, she is going in right now, and she's not playing with her little friend who smashed her boyfriend. I mean, this is just drama. They're putting the drama out there on TikTok, so we might as well react to it, right?
A mistake is not a repeated pattern. As I mentioned before in my video, you do not sit there and go live with the man. You do not sit there and lie in my face and say that there are two sides to a story when every single person knows in this city and every single town. That's why they're saying things, that there is no two sides to that story. I have videos in my phone, if we want to talk about videos, of every single person in that family holding my hand every single time something happened and being there to wipe my tears. So no, it's not a mistake when you go in and move in with the boy, as well as this. As everyone knows, as I mentioned before, that there are legal issues going on right now, and
so I guess they're holding hands, let's see, holding hands in some auditorium.
As everyone knows, as I mentioned before, that there are legal issues going on right now, and I have to fight twice as hard to prove everything that happened to me and why I need protection, because that girl is sitting there backing him on the other side of the table. That is not a mistake, and that is not something that you get a high honor and treasury for. Like I just said, every single person knows that I am trying to keep myself safe in a city that I moved to. So again, if we want to get here or sit here on the internet and say that is a mistake, fine, but then change your behavior.
And a lot of women do move from their hometown to larger cities, and quite frankly, they don't really understand what they're getting into. And a lot of times they want to rush to leave their hometown because it was so boring and it was so country, and there's only like 2,600 people there, and there's only one stoplight. But that's exactly where you need to be, because you wouldn't be experiencing this type of stuff if you didn't move and if you stayed put where you was at.
So you, as well as everyone else, knows when that next court day is. I am giving you a chance to show me that is a mistake, because I never got an apology from anybody. And then to sit on the internet and say all of these things, I dare you to go to that next courtroom so that I don't have to fight as hard to prove everything that happened to me.
Damn, I think she's trying to file a restraining order, so that's why she's talking about court.
And say exactly what happened, because you were there for every single incident and know exactly what happened. Of course, I can't talk about it right now, but if you are saying that it is a mistake and you're going to sit in those comments and say that you deserve all the hate that you are getting for a mistake that you made, then go there and show me that it was a mistake, instead of making me sit there and have to work twice as hard to prove my innocence for something I didn't do and something that I had done to me. That's what I want you to go and do. when I told that story, I kept it very cute and very classy and very vague for a reason. However, at some point, I can't keep allowing people to tear me down and pretend that they are so innocent when I have been nothing but nice and working on myself. And every single day, there's videos literally tormenting me, basically saying I took your man and all this other stuff, and then think that you're not going to get hate for that. That's not okay. That's not okay to sit up here on the internet and say that you made a mistake and then make videos flaunting it. It's not okay, and then liking comments about what they did to me. It's not okay. So no, I don't feel bad that I posted that video, nor am I showing that she's still allowing it. So let's not get up here on the internet and pretend that we're just so high and mighty and we're working on ourselves for a mistake that we made. Again, like I just said, I'm going to leave it on this. Every single person in my personal life knows when the next court date is. I dare you to go to that courtroom and not make me have to fight for my life because of stuff that happened to me, and you know exactly what happened to me. That's what I'm going to end it on.
Wow. I mean, very compelling story. There are a lot of lessons to learn from this story. One being that female solidarity is a myth. These hoes actually hate each other and are plotting on their best friend's man. Another point is that, you know, after you're getting your ass beat by a man and he's getting violent, punching holes in the wall, throwing the phone on the ground, crushing your phone, yeah, you probably want to leave that guy, okay? And then also, sexual access, sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. We saw that play out with the man and the best friend. But ultimately, I'm on her side because I feel like they really did her dirty. You know, the best friend fucked her man. The man was abusive. And now it looks like maybe she's getting a restraining order or something like that. But she's going to have to go to court or maybe they're suing her for defamation. I don't know. But seems like she's going through a lot. And I don't think she deserved this. But she definitely should not have moved and just stayed in her hometown. Tried to thug it out there. The connections that you made growing up there. Try and make those connections and then see where those connections take you. But they shouldn't be romantic connections that are taking you all across the country. Okay. But yeah, man, this is a very messed up situation. And, you know, I hope this girl gets some type of closure. And I hope she, you know, can find some peace throughout her life. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship request to the email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp so I know you're paying your tithes, man. Y'all need to be in your motherfucking game with the BS. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.